Hi, I'm Nathaniel, and this is what you need to know today. So anyways, I got off of work a little earlier today, so I figured I'd do a video. I've been working a lot as of late, but I wanted to go ahead and try to talk about a little bit about the things that have been happening and the elephant, you might say, in the room with Humbl. But before I go any further, I have to let you know I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a stockbroker. I'm just somebody who likes to trade stocks, but I am, however, big on Humbl. I'm an investor like you. Hopefully you're an investor too, and that's why you're watching my channel. I am, however, an electrician who is, like I said, big on Humbl. You guys know this. You've been watching my channel for a while. So let's go ahead. I want to talk about this price sell-off. Now, obviously, as an investor, I'm not excited about it. The price dropping as much as it has in the last 2 days. But on the other hand, as an investor, I'm also looking at this as a long-term investment. There's going to be bumps along the way. But you know, the good thing about all these little bumps, and particularly this one right here, or if you want to call it some people call it a falling off the cliff. I wouldn't be so dramatic as to say that. And why? Because there is absolutely really no reason for the stock to have gone down as much as it did. I contribute this to panic selling, and then when one person's selling, everyone else starts selling, and you get emotional about it because you're worried about you losing your money. You know, and I can't tell you whether you should sell or not. All I can tell you is that I haven't sold. At one point, I had enough in there, you know, I could have bought 3 houses with the money I'd earned. 3 nice houses, at that matter, or 6 modest homes. But that's besides the point. What I'm trying to get at is when you're investing in a company, you can't do it with emotion. You have to do it with facts. So you get the facts and you go that route. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this 10,000 to 1 reverse split that they could do or whatever. First of all, would make absolutely no sense for the team at Humbl to even consider doing that. If they did that, everyone would jump off, and that would just make the stock be, you know, nobody would invest in that. That doesn't make any sense for them, nor does it make any sense for the investors. And I definitely see this company looking to uplist. Based on their last financials, it's not so much what they have there for their financials as much as the type of form that they filled out. So the type of form they filled out is the type of form you would need in order to start the process to get on the NASDAQ. And so that's an important step. Second of all, you know, they want to grow this business. That's why they're providing financials to begin with. Yeah, was last year's financials going to be great? No. Why would they be? They were changing the ticker symbol over from TSMP to Humbl. They didn't really have anything tangible to sell other than the clothing, but I don't even think that was going to be on last year. That was something that happened this year. So I suspect next month when we get the financials, it's going to paint a much better picture on the company. In any case, every year a company is going to have ups and downs. No year or no company is always going to be always growing. Nobody does that. Everybody has ups and down years. So again, going back to the whole price sell-off deal, I think that's just, you know, a few people, particularly that one person. I'm not going to mention. I've already tweeted about it enough. Anyways. That put that article out there. You know, that's old news. That's old information. It's not relevant to the company right now. What we need to be looking at is what's happening right now in the company. They're a brand new company. They're a growing company. They're looking for partnerships to grow. They've already established partnerships, one of which was down in Chile. So that's going to take some time to work through, and, you know, just like building that building, you know, they're putting all these foundations, but there's a lot of moving parts within all this to make all these things work. So we as investors, we have to be patient. It requires patience. If it kills you to look at your stock every day and you see your money go down and maybe you're in the red, when you're in the red, I'm in the red too. You know, I would love to see the stock be, you know, back at $4 and even $7. I mean, that was amazing, but I didn't sell then. I haven't sold, not one time have I sold. That's you know, everyone's what they have to do. You know, everyone's threshold is different. I'm not looking at day trade. This is not a day trade stock. This is a long hold. You don't know when to get in and when to go out. I know people that sold and the stock went up and then they bought back in, but they bought back in at a higher price point. And then, you know what I mean? So there are other people that are really good at following charts, and that's really all they're doing. They're just following charts. So they see it, okay, the stock's at the high, and I can tell that too. I know where the stock's maybe going to plateau and then it's going to go down. I can do the same thing. It's not that difficult. You know, I was thinking about, my wife and I, we like to watch this show on TV, and probably some of you all watch it too, The Men Who Built America. You know, and these people, Henry Ford, you know, the people that you know, helped us with the ice cream and the pizza, like Little Caesars and Papa John's and Pizza Hut. You know, all these different companies from, you know, back in the 40s and 50s or whatever, when they were growing, you know, they had to go through hurdles. You know, it wasn't like everything that's happened. I'm sure they spent many hours and many long days and evenings and weekends thinking about how they can grow their business, make it better, and all those good things, right? You know, and I like, and a lot of these people are just one person. They started with one person, they had an idea, they had to make an invention, and then they had to go forward with it. And then as they grew, they found that they needed more partnerships to help them. But mostly, they kept most of the ownership to themselves. Now here, we have a team of people that are experts of running Fortune 500 companies, helping people uplist to NASDAQ. I only see positive things in the company. That's what we need to be looking at. We need to be looking at what are the good things that Humbl is doing that as an investor, I'm investing in. You're not going to have this dream team just to see a company go out of business and not do well. It just doesn't work like that. You don't put together a team of people and then not be successful. These are people that have a lot of experience. Does that mean they're perfect and they're going to do everything the way you and I would want to have it done? No, you can't please everybody either. It's just not going to happen. We had the app rollout, okay? It's version 1. It can only go up from here, right? Could there be some improvements on the app? Absolutely. And I sent them an email with the things that I felt like could be improved upon. You know, Brian Foote invited that. You know, he's not egotistic like, you know, my app's the best and all that good stuff. No, he welcomed what can they do that will make the app better. So that provides additional feedback and ideas as well. And I gave them some ideas. I've mentioned it on my video besides the other ideas I sent them. What has Humbl already accomplished? Well, I already mentioned Aurora Group down in Chile has helped companies like Uber to expand and grow rapidly in that market. So they felt like that was a good play. And we have connections in Africa. We have connections in Asia. And I'm sure there was a connection in Mexico too. I just can't remember at the moment. But the point of the matter is, Humbl is growing out a team of people to see this dream, you might say, come to reality. And Brian Foote's making it come to a reality, and his team is not happening by himself. And so, you know, that's just some thoughts. You also have to make sure that you're getting accurate information. If you're unsure about something, wait for the actual information to come out, not go off of hearsay. Go back and watch the investor call meetings. They make them available to you right on the Humbl website. You just go to humbl.com, or humblpay.com, go over to investors and scroll down, and you can watch, you know, the last 5 investor call meetings. I know I've watched all of them. You can watch them too. They make them public there for you. It reminds me of the game Telephone. Do you know? I don't know if any of y'all have ever played that. I'm sure you have. Where, you know, you start the conversation here and goes around the room. And by the time it gets to the 10th person and comes back to you, it's like, that had nothing to do with what I just said. So this is the point where I'm trying to make this. You have to make sure you get the information from the source. Now, and there are going to be people out there that are going to want to bash a stock. There's people out there that bash Apple. All right? I'm not going to bash Apple, but I'm not a big fan of Apple, to be honest with you. I can't use an Apple phone to save my life. My nephew, you know, loves it, and we go back and forth and, you know, tease each other, you might say, about the phone situation, because I'm more of an Android person. But the fact of the matter is, you can't please everybody. And you're going to have, you know, different people are going to have different opinions about different things. The point is, what are you investing in Humbl for? Do we remember at the beginning, Humbl made this opportunity available to us on the OTC market so that investors like you and I could have an opportunity to make some real money? Not have to pay, you know, $50 a share, $100 a share right out the gate. No. See, they made this available to you. What do we have? We have the ETX, which, by the way, I have a friend that called me up. I have to verify this myself because I haven't had time. I literally just got home and jumped on to do this video. But he said the ETX did its first trade today out of Bitcoin and actually into US dollars, I think, to secure the funds and lock it in. My transactions, I'm up over $1,000, and I didn't put in that much money, so I'm up a good amount. So I'm happy with the amount of return I've gotten so far. We got the NFTs. They're supposed to be coming out this month. Brian Foote said at the beginning of the month that they're on track at the last quarterly meeting, that they're on track to roll out these NFTs this month. So we have some stuff. That's something that's really taking off and has done really well. They're also looking to partner or acquire a recording, like a studio. So they've got a lot of things in play here. We have to give them time to work through everything. Let them do their job. They got the Tickery. They bought out the Tickery recently in the United States. And by the way, somebody else had said they did $45 million last year. It wasn't last year. It was in 2019 that they did $45 million in sales. Last year, I don't think anybody barely did anything in sales last year because of COVID. So it was 2019. In any case, 2021, I bet you is going to be really, really good for the ticketing, especially when it's going to be connected with Humbl. And we're going to see how that all plays out. I can assure you there's going to be some kind of, you know, click button or something like that right on the Humbl app where you can find all the shows and all that very easily. And those will roll out with the updates. Apps always have updates. We know we're going to be getting more updates. So just hang in there. They'll come. I'm sure the ETX, you know, being able to sign up with that and having it with your account is going to get easier as well, because it needs some work, you know, but again, we still were able to get on. I still was able to do it. I personally think that Humbl will probably, and I don't know anything for sure, you know, I don't work for Humbl. I know a couple of you have said, you must work for Humbl. No, I don't work for Humbl. I am an investor that just so happens to be passionate about Humbl because I like what they're doing. I like their vision. I want to share that with everybody else. If you're willing to, you know, go along with the journey with me, and I'm happy to share whatever information I have that can help you. If I can help you out, then great. If Humbl goes down, well, we all go down together. What can I say? I just don't see it happening like that. I know Brian Foote tweeted out that he wasn't going to be selling any of his preferred shares, at least through 2022. So I'm not sure. That means after 2022 he might. Is he going to sell all of them? No. He's still going to want to maintain control of the company. That's how you maintain the control of the company, by the shares you own. So if he sells them, then he's selling them to who? Shareholders. So who's going to control the company? Shareholders. No, he's not going to do that. He's going to maintain majority control. And I just like to go back and just say, you know, just remember Humbl has given you all the opportunity, as well as myself and the rest of my family, the opportunity to be invested in Humbl. I see a lot of good things that are going to happen with Humbl. I will say with the app, I did talk to my bookkeeper with reference to the price of the merchant services, and actually the price they have on there is pretty good. I pay just a little bit more money on some and a little less money on others, but for me, because of the fact that I do a lot of my bookkeeping through a program that integrates with other things that I use in the office, I probably won't be using Humbl at this point that much, but I'm still going to sign up as a merchant because I want to support what Humbl is doing, and I do see the potential in that. Now, do I think that the merchant service is really meant for the enterprise consumer? No, I don't actually. I think it's more meant for the mom and pop. I'm selling something at my house, and you can just send me some money, and you can pay me right then and there, as opposed to bringing around cash. That, I think, is really what Humbl is all about. It's really the unserved market, which I think is going to have a huge impact. And I think that's why it's going to work better globally than trying to engage us with enterprise level service, at least at this point. That doesn't mean that the app or the merchant services won't evolve, because everything is going to evolve and get better. But at this particular moment, it doesn't necessarily work for bigger companies. But for small companies, I think it's very good because you're going to get better rates than what a bigger company can. So because I do more volume in sales, then my rates are better. Whereas, you know, for example, Home Depot or another company, their rates will be even better than mine because they're doing, you know, millions of dollars in sales, literally in a weekend. One store, because I used to actually work at Home Depot years and years and years ago. But anyways, that's besides the point. So, you know, just think of Humbl as a long-term play. In 3 to 5 years, if you invested in something and in 3 to 5 years from now, you could retire from that investment, is that worth it? I think so. I would say so. People a lot of times invest their whole life into mutual funds or indexes. Humbl's giving you the opportunity to outpace that, outgrow that. I mean, it was back up today. 19%? It was like 19% everything was up today from its down. So we should expect it to go back up as a result. But one last little point I wanted to bring out is the volume of shares that were bought and sold. I think it was like 63 million, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday. 63 million shares of stock, not dollars, million shares of stock that were bought and sold yesterday. That's a pretty big number for a small company, right? That to me tells me that there's a lot of interest and there's a lot of manipulation also going on. People are trying to use that to their advantage. I couldn't help but notice that in the golden panda, I think is his name, that at the very bottom he has this little disclaimer that says that they don't plan on buying any of company shares within 72 hours of publishing their report. Well, probably if they wrote a bad report, within 72 hours after that would be the best time for them to buy. Now, I'm not saying that they're buying. In their opinion, maybe they're just putting out what they think is the best information. The thing is why even put that disclaimer that they don't plan on buying anything within 72 hours? To me, that doesn't even make any sense. So I want you to think about that for a moment. We did close up today at $1.61, and there was about 21 million shares bought and sold today. So again, a very impressive action. A lot of trades, a lot of action. That means there's a lot of eyeballs on this company, and It's just a matter of time, and this is going to be a household name, just like PayPal and Square and other ones that are out there. But a household name, not just in the US, but in the world. One other thing I wanted to mention is that, you know, I'm not going to provide videos every single day because, to be honest with you, there's not something to talk about every single day. I don't really give you, I'm not a charts person. I'm not going to give you the day-to-day action. I'm more just information about the company and whatever information that might help you as an investor. So don't expect to get a video from me every day. If you don't hear from me for 4 or 5 days, it's not because I stopped making videos, but rather it's just because there's nothing to talk about. So I hope you understand. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching this. I'm Nathaniel, and this is what you needed to know today.